Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we take complex source material and turn it into actionable, unforgettable insights just for you. Today, we're analyzing a system that's designed to tackle a truly monumental liability. And the figure we're starting with should make any executive sit up straight. $3 trillion.
It's a staggering number.
Yeah.
3 trillion. And that represents the annual global cost of human error and, just staggering workforce inefficiency.
And that's across major industries, right? We're talking energy, defense.
Exactly. Utilities, manufacturing, all the big ones. And that's really the strategic backdrop for what we're diving into today, the launch of the EON Enterprise Perform Intelligence System.
Okay, so this isn't just about, rolling out some new training videos.
Not at all. The sources describe this as the world's first unified spatial AI operating system.
A unified system, and the goal is?
What? The goal is to pull industrial workforce execution out of what they call the antiquated Industry 2.0 standards, basically to bring it into the age of AI-driven safety.
It sounds like a total paradigm shift. So our mission for this deep dive is to really understand how this system transforms a company's human capital strategy.
Right. By unifying systems that have never, ever communicated before. And more critically, showing you how this whole structure is built to eliminate the leading causes of catastrophic operational risks.
The urgency here seems pretty clear. I mean, beyond that massive $3 trillion price tag, the data shows that 80 to 90% of industrial accidents, they're caused by human error.
It's a huge number. And it's not a technology problem, it's a knowledge transfer problem.
And that problem is colliding head-on with a demographic time bomb, right? This brain drain.
Absolutely. We're looking at up to 50% of the senior workforce in these critical high-risk sectors, oil and gas, nuclear, utilities. They're all approaching retirement.
Let's just pause on that for a second, because that feels like the core of the risk. When an engineer with 30 years of experience retires, they take something irreplaceable with them. This tacit knowledge.
Exactly. Tacit knowledge isn't what's written down in the manual, not at all. It's the intuition. It's the feel of a machine.
It's knowing something's wrong before the alarms go off.
Precisely. It's that subtle visual cue that tells you a pump is about to fail 5 minutes before the sensor does. It's decades of experience just baked into their muscle memory. And when that gold standard walks out the door, you can't replace it with a 3-day course.
So that creates an immense liability. You're losing your most valuable asset, perfect knowledge, and you might not even realize you needed to capture it until it's too late.
Which brings us right to our first section, escaping the patchwork trap.
The patchwork trap. Tell us what that is.
Right now, in most Global 2000 enterprises, workforce readiness it's a logistical nightmare. The source material calls it that patchwork trap because your safety and training architecture is just this disjointed mess.
Managed by how many different vendors?
Often 10 to 12,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't integrate, they don't talk to each other. It's just silos.
So what are the actual tangible consequences of that for the worker and, for the company's bottom line?
Well, the biggest one is the illusion of competence. Your learning management systems, your LMS, all that compliance software,
Yeah.
it only records one thing.
Quiz completion.
Quiz completion. You click the slides, watch the video, pass the multiple choice test. That system has zero visibility into whether you can actually physically perform the skill safely in the real world.
So you're mixing up competence with just compliance, a
Yeah.
check mark.
Precisely. And to add insult to injury, the whole content creation process is glacial. You have external agencies charging, upwards of $300 an hour to create what the sources bluntly call dead content.
Dead content, meaning it's expensive, it's static, it's out of date almost immediately.
Right. And because all these systems are siloed, the enterprise lacks that crucial digital thread. They can't connect the dots. They can't correlate training performance with, actual operational risk and field safety data.
So the EON system comes in to basically stitch that digital thread together. It becomes the single, cohesive digital backbone for the entire employee lifecycle.
That's the key. It's a continuous loop. The system spans 3 phases: learn, train, and perform.
Okay, break that down for us.
So learn is the cognitive part, digitizing all that institutional knowledge. Train is the simulated practice, right, against that digitized gold standard. And then perform is operational execution, taking that validated data and pushing it out as active guidance in the field. It's truly unified.
A huge enterprise adoption like this, it sounds like a change management nightmare. How do they avoid what the sources call pilot purgatory?
They use a dual engine strategy to make it scalable. So engine A is the physical core, the hub. Think of it as a centralized center of excellence with advanced simulators. It grounds everything in physical reality.
Engine B.
That's the digital scale, the spoke. It's cloud-based mass distribution, so it's accessible on phones, AR headsets, making sure the content and the insights reach the whole workforce. You get that immediate network effect.
Let's talk about the content itself, because this is where the AI capabilities are.
Oh, they're genuinely shocking. Section 2, transforming knowledge creation.
Right. So the industry standard is 300 hours of development for 1 hour of training content. Months of work.
And EON reduces that to minutes. How?
By attacking that bottleneck with generative AI that's specialized for industrial tasks. They have two main engines here. The first is the AI Academy Builder.
The Academy Builder, so that tackles the brain drain problem we talked about.
Head on. It uses a multi-agent architecture. Think of it like a team of specialized AI workers. One agent analyzes the text in your old manuals, and the other, the assembly agent, automatically matches that text to a massive 36 million asset library.
So instead of an animator building a 3D valve from scratch, the AI just finds the right one and puts it in place.
Finds it, places it, and defines its physics. Instantly.
Okay, that's for existing documentation. But what if you need to train for a scenario that's never happened before? That's where EON Genesis comes in. You use text-to-simulation prompts. You basically just tell the system, create a scenario with a gas leak in the West refinery at dusk.
And it builds it.
It instantly generates the 3D training environment. It even handles the physics calculations. Smoke density, lighting, fluid dynamics. No human programmer has to touch the code. This is how an instructor can create an entire library of courses in a single week.
And 90% time reduction. That's incredible. But if we're using AI to generate safety-critical content, we have to talk about trust. What if the AI hallucinates a dangerous procedure?
That's the million-dollar question. They call their solution hallucination-free guardrails. It's a walled garden architecture.
Meaning the AI can't just browse the open internet.
Exactly. It only draws information from approved compliance documents that the client uploads. So if an AI tutor is guiding a worker and they try to do something unsafe, the AI doesn't just say that's wrong, it stops them.
And it tells them why.
It tells them why, and crucially, it cites the specific paragraph from the source document that confirms the rule.
Wow, that level of auditability is what moves this from just a training tool to a real liability mitigation platform.
Absolutely. And that digital trust is then solidified by physical validation. That brings us back to that 5-station smart facility center of excellence.
Okay, tell us about a couple of the most critical stations there.
Well, Station 1 is the immersive experience. That's usually an EON iCube VR cave. This is where you practice the high-risk, low-frequency events.
Like a fire on an oil rig or a chemical spill.
Things you absolutely cannot practice in the real world, but you have to be perfect when they happen.
And Station 4, the physical one.
Right. Station 4 is physical. It uses EON unmerged XR. So you get ghost hand guidance projected over real equipment. This is all about building muscle memory. The worker is looking at the actual pump, but the system is projecting holographic steps right onto the hardware.
Ensuring they do the right physical movement in the right sequence. Okay,
Yeah.
so once they're trained and validated, the real test is out in the field.
Which takes us to Section 3, the Perform IQ suite. This is the operational brain, and it's designed to eliminate the 3 major failure modes in the field.
And failure mode number 1 is probably the most basic. Touching the wrong thing.
That's it. So Module 1 is Spatial IQ, and it solves what they call identity ambiguity. Imagine a huge facility, thousands of identical pipes. The leading cause of cross-contamination is right action, wrong asset.
Doing a right procedure on the wrong machine.
Exactly. Spatial IQ uses LiDAR and VPS technology to get sub-centimeter accuracy. Think of it as Google Maps, but for the inside of a refinery with millimeter precision. It gives you a green line on the floor to guide you to the exact right valve.
That's incredible. So that's location. What about procedural errors? Doing the task wrong.
That's Module 2, Assist IQ, Solving Procedural Drift. This is how the system deploys that tacit knowledge. It captures the gold standard performance when an expert does a task just once.
Using action recognition AI.
All right. It tracks 21 key points on the human body, detects the tools being used, and digitizes that expert performance. Then it deploys it as Guide AI, a field co-pilot that projects those holographic ghost hand guides over the real equipment, correcting you in real time.
And the third module connects all this human action to the real-world data from the machines themselves.
That's IoT IQ, and it solves state blindness. This is the bridge between IT and OT operational technology. It integrates protocols like SCADA and Modbus.
So it gives workers X-ray vision.
Pretty much. It makes invisible physics, visible pressure, voltage, vibration. You can see the state of the machine.
That sounds useful, but how does it save lives in a really non-negotiable way?
By implementing safety gating and digital interlocks. This is the real difference maker. Think about lockout-tagout procedures, ensuring machine has zero energy before you work on it.
A critical safety step?
Absolutely critical. If the system detects, through its SCADA integration, that the power is still on, it doesn't just warn the worker. It'll actually block the instructions. The guidance won't proceed until the condition is verified as safe.
That digital interlock, that's massive. That's a lifesaver.
It is. And that moves us beyond just human training and into strategic foresight. Section 4, the strategic edge. Because this isn't just about human workers anymore.
Right. The sources call this the human-to-robot bridge, even SAP for robot labor. What does that mean?
It's about a profound efficiency gain they call one-shot teaching. Think about deploying robots like the Boston Dynamics Spot or Tesla Optimus. Instead of painstakingly programming every task, a human expert performs the task just once.
And the system translates that action into a universal language for robots.
Essentially, yes. A semantic task model, a standardized JSON schema that is hardware agnostic.
So one human demonstration can train an entire fleet of different robots.
Exactly. You scale knowledge across both humans and machines at the same time.
And this efficiency thinking extends to white-collar work too, right? What about the hidden factory? All those hours lost to manual, disconnected digital processes.
Yes, EON extends Perform IQ to the digital desktop for that. It uses something called observational discovery. So instead of the painful interview trap to map a process, the AI just watches the work happen.
And it uses semantic DOM capture. For our listeners, what's the difference between that and just, recording screen clicks?
It's a great question. It captures the meaning, the semantic layer of what you're doing, not just the pixels. It understands why you're moving data from field A to field B.
And the use case for that?
A great one is collapsing HR onboarding. What normally takes 48 to 72 hours of forms and compliance steps, they get it down to 3 minutes of guided instruction. And it simultaneously eliminates security risks, like zombie accounts.
When you have this level of rigor, verifying competence must go way beyond a simple quiz. This brings us to the integrity suite and the trimodal assessment.
This is all designed for ironclad audit defense. It checks 3 things. First is, do the XR performance exam. It logs physics-based errors. Did you turn the valve with the right amount of torque?
Then there's say.
The say is the oral defense. An AI supervisor avatar actually interrogates your reasoning. It asks you why you did what you did, and it analyzes your confidence, your terminology.
So it's not enough to do the right thing. You have to know why it's the right thing.
Correct. And finally, show. That's identity assurance. Continuous biometric authentication to prevent proxy testing.
So no having your buddy take the test for you.
No chance. The certification is truly verifiable and immutable. And that drives strategic measurement, which is the key insight here. It moves training from a cost center to a measurable production asset.
The KTE formula.
Right. Knowledge transfer efficiency. It lets the CFO measure learning output with the same rigor they use for manufacturing. And the output is that immutable competency passport, which is crucial for audit defense.
Speaking of high stakes, for defense, energy, and aerospace clients, data security has to be a fortress.
It's non-negotiable. Data sovereignty is everything, which is why the entire AI stack can be deployed on local servers on-premise or in-country hosting. The data never leaves their secure perimeter.
And what about when they do use external AI?
They use an airlock protocol. It strips all personally identifiable information and any proprietary keywords before any external processing. Total control, total peace of mind.
So let's bring this all together. We've seen a massive transformation. We've gone from this fractured system where content took months and validation was a simple quiz to a unified, auditable platform where content creation takes minutes.
And you see huge safety gains through those digital interlocks, and you preserve that critical gold standard knowledge that used to just walk out the door.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, the strategic value is really in making competence quantifiable, isn't it?
It is. The CFO can now use that KTE formula to quantify the ROI of safety training. They can prove that every dollar spent results in a measurable, safer, more efficient output. It bolsters the entire enterprise against risk.
Which brings us to our final provocative thought for you, the listener. The platform's stated mission is to empower 1 billion learners globally by directly connecting knowledge to skills and, ultimately, to income. So, what does a future look like when every single critical operational skill is captured, cloned, and verifiably deployed? What happens when you can ensure near perfect safety and efficiency across both your human and robotic workforces?
That's the scale of efficiency we're talking about, potentially eradicating a huge portion of that $3 trillion liability, a truly transformative vision for the industrial economy.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive. Thank you for listening.